Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting session of Storms over Cerenar. Tonight's introduction finds us in the misty streets of Staunch Flow, the city of sin, the city of golden lights, where a weird and occult past still shapes the way life is lived today. We have a bunch of heroes that has gotten themselves into a little tussle of some kind, looking for a girl, Penny Proudbottom. Ridiculous name, but she's still kidnapped. The private eye Arsifice is out for her. The others, they come chasing down the rumors of a dark ritual most foul. And hundreds of lives are on the line, at the bare minimum. This is their story, and this is how we will begin today's session. Because in Storms over Cerenar, Epic Boon Productions have brought together more than 50 years of role-playing experience to create an epic tale of ancient secrets, sleeping gods, and country-spanning conflicts in a high-level D&D campaign. I am your Dungeon Master for tonight. My name is Raw, and I have with me these 5 beautiful, wonderful ding-dongs. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, ding-dongs.
Hello, ding-dongs. Before everybody gets a chance to introduce themselves and the characters, I want to remind everybody that Storms over Cerenar is a rowdy and sometimes dark role-playing campaign for adults, so audience discretion is advised. So let's say hi to the cast. From the shores of Old England, and by horrible British accent, I would like to introduce Alex.
Cool, blimey. Hello. Hi, I'm Alex. I play Oust, the Chthonian High Elf archaeologist / Hexblade Warlock. Last session, I decided that I'd take a jaunt. Rather than fight, that I just decided to chill out on a sword for a bit and then invade Nongle's memories, which is quite fun. But yeah, that's me. I'm the one with the kind of the nasally posh accent. Or in my case, in my opinion, the one without an accent, but you know. Potato.
Potato. Welcome, Alex. I'm happy to have you. And next one up is from the United States of America. We have Evan.
Hello, my name's Evan, playing an inquisitive rogue Southis. As introduced previously, Private Eye of the city of Staunch Flow, and curious current lead into the investigation for the Proudbottom girl.
Beautiful. And then, closest to me geographically, also from the small and quaint state of Denmark in Northern Europe, we have Jonas. Hello, Jonas.
Hey, everyone. I'm Jonas, and I have the pleasure and honor playing Bjørn, the Barbarian. He is as ruthless as he is.
Ruthless as he is kind. That is beautiful. And then, of course, just a little skip away from Denmark, across the Baltic Sea, we have Leon from Germany. Hello, Leon.
Hello. So I'm Leon, playing the bard Theus, who in his previous career was part of an assassination cult, but managed to get out the way you get out of probably a very, very bad relationship.
That is right, and we are still haunted by Theus's past. And then, of course, last but not least, from the rugged frozen wastelands of Texas, no, Canada.
Whoa!
We have...
Topical.
Don't at me. We have Tanner from Canada.
Hello, I'm Tanner, fellow producer in Epic Boon Productions. I play Nongle, who is a nomad, which is a rock gnome, reflavored for this fantastic campaign. And yeah, I am playing a theurgy wizard that is kind of a little bit cleric, a little bit sorcerer. I like spells, all right? Yeah, and I'm just getting over a perversion of mind, like, assault from one of the fellow characters in the party, so I'm gonna deal with that today.
And just to continue that recap, I'm going to tell you a bit what happened last session. Within the sewers, the gang, the players encounters Meepo, one of Saphiz's contacts, who is fleeing from a patrol of bad guys. Our heroes engage in combat with them, but soon their combat gets interrupted by a gargantuan legendary ooze called Usak that lives in the sewers of Staunch. This ooze has a wild magic properties, and all spells cast around it has a chance to fizzle out, and lots of interesting shit happens whenever a spell is cast. So Nongle gets a flower grown out of his forehead. A troll laughs uncontrollably at Theus. But most interestingly, maybe, is that Oust and his patron switches bodies, which was horrifying for you as a dungeon master to actually have to play through. Send your donations to me for my ragged soul. Everybody else saw Oust getting sucked into the verdant shard. Outside, nothing happened. For some reason, nothing materializes in a physical form, but countless of whispers kind of starts to go off. Oust finds himself in a non-relativistic space. If he goes out one end, he comes back into the other. But if he looks at the floor or the walls closely, he sees dark, subtle runes of Kangundi origin. The same runes that they saw at the temple on which the verdant shard was found. Nongle picks up the verdant shard and as the whole gang of heroes decides to flee. But then Oust, from within the shard, begins to see the depths of Nongle's memories. We get a tour through the background of Nongle, and also some of it rubs off an Oust that learns how to cast the Fireball spell. In safety and out of the shard a bit later, our heroes talk to Meepo, who says that the sewers have been super busy recently. All of these criminal organizations have been trafficking a lot of merchandise through the sewers, which corresponds to some of the things our gang is trying to figure out about the ritual. He also talks to them about the Usak, who has been in a feeding frenzy because the criminal organization, the Siki fights, have been dumping corpses left, right, and center, getting the old once slow ooze to increase its activity. After that, Meepo shows our heroes an old ritual site of a cult that was busted by Saphiz months or years past, and there they find an amateurish configuration. But maybe more importantly, Nongle finds a page on the bottom of the reservoir with a configuration that might be the one they have to stop from happening in the Dark Ritual. It should be on the screen now. Apart from that, they figure out that the wealth of cultist literature and writings that they had found within the sewers have been moved and acquired by someone else. And that is where we find our... No, actually, the last thing that happens is that Oust and Theus goes to harass an old bookshop. And that is where we find our heroes. As maybe Theus and Oust, can you tell me what is going on right now?
I'm currently looking for the old man who stole my smut. I currently have distracted the guards by throwing a rat at them and running away.
And I believe that I'm stood in the middle of the street holding a bundle of pornography, looking like George Clooney, with two guards running at me. But yeah.
All right. So, as you are now running around with these guards outside of this man's shop, what do you guys do? The others are waiting for you back at the wagon, back at Cephiz's house.
Well, first, what I do depends on what Oz is doing, because I'm currently looking for the old man who stole my smut.
I kind of sort of look around with my arms full of books and go, yes, here's your pawn, firstly. Congrats. We should perhaps exfiltrate from this place now, as soon as possible. You know, don't want to get involved with the local gendarme, but yeah, there we go.
Oust, of course, being disguise is returned by this clown man with a look of what?
Just so you know, like I'm looking like Ronald McDonald, he's looking like George Clooney, and I don't know that this is Ost.
Good point. So I kind of like just sort of bundle it all into one arm, just go, whoop, sort of drop my disguised self, and go.
Wait,
It's me,
Ost,
by the way.
Why did you steal my smut?
I didn't steal it. I was picking it up for you, genuinely. But there we go. I thought I was doing something nice, and also I had some other errands to run. Anyway, guards over there.
You there, perverts!
Put this back up. There we go.
You're under arrest.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Sorry, lads. Police business, and I will dimension door both of us if I am within arm's reach of him. 500 feet, basically down the same alleyway that we were before, that we went down previously, the previous day.
You bamf into an alleyway away from the guard.
To the levitator.
I don't know where we currently are. You bam.
Good, right, let's go. And I will kind of lead him back to where our what's the word? Accommodation.
You
Time being.
You make your way through Staunchflow, the city of Golden Light. It is still the morning hours, and the heavy mists have kind of rolled down from the roofs, and now lies in a thick layer just around your feet, almost like if a smoke machine had just blown it out everywhere. As you kick through the refuse and the dirt of the streets, you end up back at the house at Baker Street, or Thyme Street, sorry. As we return to Safis's abode, I think we'll say that it's around 9:30 in the late hours of the morning.
Ost, how much do I owe you for this smut? Like, how much did you pay for that?
I believe I took the money back off the gentleman, so we'll call it quits. But yeah, not entirely sure we actually paid him.
Wait, we did not.
Hey,
steal it.
it was more a donation on his behalf due to his previous activities being an awful racist bastard. But, call it that.
Okay, I guess if he was a bad man, then sure.
Awful, dreadful. Hates tabaxi. And clowns, apparently, so you're welcome.
Yeah, he did not react well to my disguise. Thought it was
I mean,
fun.
who would? But there we go. Try the purple dragonborn next time. I think it's more friendly. But there we go.
Inside of the nomad levitator, we have the common room of our gang. Within the weird gnomish artifice, house on wheels. That is the house of an uncle's uncle. What is he called again? 1 second. It's in here somewhere. Snick Snack. There we go. What are you guys doing in this morning as Austin Years returns with the pornography?
Doing the porn run.
The morning porn run.
Just popping out to get some smart lads.
Morn porn run. Oh man.
What's your filth order, everybody? Anyway, Karen.
Bjorn,
think so that
Cerenar?
Bjorn is investigating the flower currently in growth in Uncle's head, trying to figure out what is going
Oh, that's
on.
right. Nurgle has a fucking flower in his forehead. Forgot about that.
I don't know if Nuncle is awake, but Bjorn is definitely.
Yep, definitely awake. Just playing with it, somehow something he read in the past says if you play with it you'll go blind, but he's still kind of like what's going on with this. Tried to pull it out, but it felt like his skull was coming out with it, so it's kind of permanently attached there. But it makes people unconscious, even elves. So
as you sniff it, Bjorn, you get woozy. It's some good shit.
Should I try to pull it out?
Are we back at this point?
I'll say when the door gets open. I'll give these guys a chance. Are you saying anything, Nongle? I can see your mouth moving, but you are muted.
I already tried to pull it out, but it didn't seem to work. It felt like my skull was coming apart with it. Possibly if we just snip it off, but then it's going to leave something. It does have some magical properties. I'd like to investigate it just a little bit more, but I do have this headband that I'll wear around in the meantime.
I'm sure I could pull it out.
I'm sure you could. You could also pull my head right off of my body as well. So let's not test fate.
Okay.
Austin Theus, as you approach the Nomad Levitator, you see Arsathis in the door of his house.
Morning.
What
Mrs.
is-
this?
Morning. So do we have a plan for today, or?
I think we should convene the elders, as it were. See what the what's going on, basically. Where we're going, what we're doing.
Alright. And he will follow you into the Gnomish Levitator to do just that.
I don't know.
You all enter into the Nomad Levitator, and Snickstack kind of jolts upright. He has just been messing around in the workshop for a few days. All right. You want me to put on a cup of tea, or you have anything under control there, Dongle?
Tea would be lovely. Thank you.
Wagon, make a cup of tea. Yes, I will boil the water.
Please, no, not the wagon.
Well, I upgraded it. It's much more clever now.
Of course you did. In such short time, of course you upgraded it. Perfectly as fine as always, Uncle.
You begin to hear things falling down from the racks out of the kitchen, as weird mechanical arms from the roof just starts to push down plates and trying to get the kettle on.
There's Austin Theus and
Now give her a chance. It's not easy to learn how to boil water.
Actually, it's quite simple. If you could just use the... Never mind. Do Theus and Oz still come in disguise?
Oh, I haven't dropped my Ronald McDonald disguise yet. How long does it last?
An hour.
I'm
Myself, yeah.
I'm probably still U3, yeah. So.
Who's this? A clown! No!
I literally sorry, excuse me. I literally used this disguise yesterday. The same one.
Bjorn, kill it quickly! It's a clown!
Bjorn, don't you dare! Don't you come near me! Bjorn!
I recognize both of Nongle. Quit it.
See? He recognizes us, Nongle.
You can see that,
Bjorn knows this disguise. I've shown him this once before.
You can see Leon.
As for the rest of us.
He is underneath if you look very hard.
Now, why would you show him the weird clown costume, young man?
I will cast Dispel Magic.
Wait, it's got. Wait. Oh.
Yeah, it just dispels, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Clown costume disappears with the sound of a honking nose.
I have enough crazy things going on in my life right now. I don't need to deal with a clown as well. They're quite terrifying, actually. He's harassed me at the water parks I frequented when I was a child. Oh wait, I'm giving up so much personal information, Ost.
Yes, you are. I don't want to give out any more. But speaking of these crazy happenings you were happening, never mind. That plant on your head, rather, seems to knock me right out. But do you think there's any way of distilling that? Could be useful.
I plan on doing some experimentation with it as soon as we have some, maybe some. Obviously, I don't want it permanently attached to my head, but I want to know how it got there, etc., etc. And I do expect to do some experimentation with it, of course.
Have you tried dispelling it on your head?
Oh heavens, no! That might actually get rid of it before I have time to investigate. I tried to physically remove it, just so I could still have the specimen itself, but dispelling it.
I was going to say, can we take some cuttings, maybe? You know.
Well,
any amateur horticulturalists on board?
Why don't you let me take
you guys? Why are you all so slow? This night I harvested some from his head. I'm analyzing it as we speak.
Oh, did you now?
There we go. Yes.
Well, yes, I asked you and you said yes while you slept, so I guess that was consent, right?
We need to have a talk about consent.
Oh,
Yes.
he looks at his feet. Oh, I'm very sorry. I was just so. Do you want me to give it back to you?
No, please continue your investigations with it.
I will.
Show me what you have, though. And Nungle will Nungle will putter over and see what's going on.
As you go into the workshop, you see basically it's in a distillation kind of holder with a few kind of what is it called? Hoses almost, like different kind of liquids going around in different colors. He says, "Well, Wagon is analyzing it right now, so we'll have a look at that when it's done analyzing, identifying, you could say." You are still
very good. I hope
muted,
the
my
wagon
friend.
is not going to be too well. It's not going to create too much of a margin of error for this specific identification.
Oh no, Master Snicksnack turned down my genocidal tendencies by 4%.
4%. Excellent. Well then,
Makes all the difference, apparently.
Nongo will start setting up a ritual identify on the flower on his head. As the gnomish levitator goes through its maniacal calculations.
And as you begin to sit with that, I will return to that.
Okay.
I will take us all to the quest page here,
Yes.
where we will have a look at what is happening. Because what is going to happen now is that we're going into a few days of downtime where you can work on the mystery of the dark rituals. So I just want to go through what you have learned and what you know about these dark rituals. So I'm going to take up the quest log here that I've made, and I'm going to ask Tanner to also do that on the stream. The mysteries and dark rituals of Storage Flow.
All right.
So you don't know much about it yet. You still need to connect all the dots. It seems like the Hinenu Trade Association, the enemies of Yarsafis, has been rounding up children within the Emirates and the Class Sensi for in a job for the Face, the League of Assassins that Theus was once a part of. And all of these children, specifically girl children, are being sent to Stormflow. And it has been mentioned out of hand by some of your opponents that they were needed for a dark ritual. You know that it is going to happen in Stormflow, but you don't know where, you don't know when, and you don't know why. So you still have to figure out precisely like the motive behind establishing a dark ritual to kill 666 girls. You know, because you talked to Professor Oath, that a ritual of this kind needs three main components. One, it needs sacrifice, the transaction of the soul between two bearers, one in this plane and one in the other planar realm, needs to take place for the ritual to be powered, basically. That way, souls, humanoid or sentient souls, are seen as fuel or money even for other planar beings like demons or gods. Then you need a configuration. That would be something as simple as your traditional septagram or pentagram, in which to arrange the components and the offering. You were looking for a configuration, and you found it within the old cultist lair. Just having the configuration drawn down on paper made the paper itself magical, emanating conjuration magic. This, as shown on the screen now, is such a potent configuration that it could, if it had enough fuel, enough sacrifices, it could do almost anything, and it needs to be very large. precisely what league we're talking. You don't know. But if it's within the city of Staunchflow in the septagram of Staunch, it might be empowered. And then you need to have a bunch of material components and verbal components, so somatic components. So that'll be like people chanting, lots of fish eyes or whatever is needed to appease the gods you want to contact. So whoever's trying to do a ritual needs to bring that into the city. And for a ritual of this size, we're not talking about a pinch of sulfur. We're talking about tons of material. And then you have learned that Staunchflow's nature, it is built like a septagram. I'm going to take us briefly to the Staunchflow map. Staunchflow was built ages past, and demons gave the demon-worshipping royalty a plan for the city that made the Hellstone septagram that you can see on the map in front of you here. Arkan, though, the founder of the conventicle of Arkan, disrupted this septagram that acted as a gateway to other planes, and he did that through unknown means. Oust, however, have been in the cellar of one of the towers surrounding the septagram, and is discussing that some kind of rod is missing from an installation in a hidden sub-basement. So that might have something to do with it. Still need to investigate that. All right, going back. The last thing, and I'm back here on the quest log page, is that you are still having to look for the halfling girl, Poppy Proudbottom. She might be connected to the rituals as a whole. You have a few other leads. One is the old leader of the cult that Safis apprehended, and their lair that you raided it and found the configuration. He sits in the Iron Grasp prison within town. You could go and talk to him. And the other thing is that R has another contact called Nowhere, who also has who might have some information about what's going on. So before we go into this, I'm going to tell you the rules I'm putting up for this downtime investigation kind of thing. All right? So every character gets one activity they can do every day. So you could say, I want to go look for clues, I want to go look for that, I want to go do this. And why I'm only giving you one thing is because I want you, you have to imagine that you need to keep yourself down low. So this is without chance of you getting investigated or apprehended by the constabulary or found by the face or other things like that. So this is for you to be able to operate clandestinely. The DCs will be fairly high. The floor will be DC 20. But looking at your stats, unless you're trying to do something you don't know anything about, you're going to have a pretty fucking decent time to do things.
Have you met my rolls?
You bet. Well,
I'm very bold of you to assume I can roll higher than a 10.
Why don't you just take a back seat there, buddy? Just help action.
apart from doing downtime activities, there's also scenes we can play, right? So if you say, I want to talk to Snicksnack about my head flower, that's not going to be an activity. If you want to take his results and make it into something, that's going to be an activity. Does that make sense? So we can still do role-playing scenes as needed. Actually, why don't you all, let's all roll initiative for... I'm going to put you here on the quest map in a second, and I'm going to put it in initiative so you can all... So we will just have an order. Theus and Mongolino. All right, guys. I'm putting you in the... Oh, that's some very good rolls. Holy moly. 19 from Safis. Shit.
Highest initiative I've had so far.
All right. All right. So, do you want to talk or converse out of character, in character? Now is a good time before you start doing
think-
things. I might stop in between things and tell you if something happens during the day. There might things also happen around you.
So, gentleman, clown, uh, sentient, gnomish vehicle.
Yes, I am ready.
Thank you. There we go.
Thank you
Probably
for
need a bit of
including
a anytime. Probably need a bit of a to-do list, don't you think? And I'll pull out my my pink sparkly unicorn notebook that I just got from that racist man, and a pen. Hello, where's that? So, from what I can see, we have a couple of things that we might need to do, and feel free to chip in at any point and add more things. Mr. Stafis, I'm sure this is very much your area of expertise, so please do. We have to. Might be worth interrogating this fellow who was part of that cult that you closed down. I think that's fair enough. I also think it might be a decent idea to check the rest of these towers out. See if they're all the same. See if these staffs are missing. Obviously, you have your contact of Norman or whatever his name was. Might also be worth checking out whether there's any evidence of this slave trade. Your small kobold friend did tell us of somewhere where they may be bringing people or taking people out of the city. So,
Smuggler's
I think
Cove,
worth a
yeah.
look. So we need to identify the site of the ritual. Might be a bit of a more long-term one. And it sounds like we might want to investigate the imports into the city. So, components and the like. So might be worth checking the docks and maybe some of the more magical practicing outlets within the city. Any other ideas?
Yeah, that sums up basically everything I had.
Well, I mean, there's this flower on my head, but I suppose that could wait. It doesn't seem to be hurting me at all.
Oh yes, and the flower, but I mean that's very much a job for you.
More of a me thing.
Just-
I'm thinking that I could be more beneficial with the we thing. Well, of course, I have many knowledges of many, many, many things. Nice notebook. You are magical.
Let's say we
It
find...
is definitely not my picture here. I found it online.
Okay.
You can use the party notes. All of you have access to it to write in if you want.
Right.
Okay, can you just write everything down so we can assign tasks? So,
certainly.
Ost, the different points. And also, we should think about when we get to bust the syndicate, or whatever code is currently doing the sacrifice. How do we get out of here with the possibly prisoners, the girls, which are 666? I don't think so many fit in our gnomish levitator.
Two things you know are happening, and I'll just repeat them so you know. I posted this in our internal Discord here, but I'll say it aloud so everybody else watching know it. Is that you know that on the 28th of Aurora, the Festival of Peace will be celebrated in Staunch Flow. Here, the Duke will gather the populace in the center of town and start festivities by pardoning criminals and handing out food from the Liberation Bridge. And the festival goes on to the full moon has passed on the 30th. And you all know that on the 29th, the Face expects Theus to give himself up to them. That is the current deal you have. Made when Theus was unconscious, I have to add. But I just want to reemphasize that from what you said, that's what they are expecting.
So I don't seem to be able to write unless I'm writing in the wrong place.
If you double click, it says this book is magical. You have to go and save in the top of it when you have written anything.
Yeah, it's kicking me out after I've written. something.
Yes, it's because you are more of you in one at one time.
Yeah. I just put this book is
okay.
magical in there, and then I'm done. So you can go ahead and edit that.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. To do a list. And I'll mute while I type. Talk amongst yourselves.
So I
Right.
was thinking that going to the docks. Kind of my area of expertise. I could.
You're cutting out a little bit,
You're
Jonas.
cutting out
Can you
again,
maybe
yeah.
put your microphone a bit closer to your mouth?
So I was thinking of going to the docks and maybe, talk to some of the dock workers and maybe work a bit with them to get a bit of intel of what is imported into the city at the moment.
Not a bad idea.
If any of you just want to do something or use a turn for
Maybe
the
we
day,
should
that's fine.
infiltrate the were-rats. Like, we can disguise
Hmm.
ourselves and just
Alright.
like maybe get like undercover going there.
Well, the trick is with that, well, there's several tricks with that. One, were-rats can change their form at will, and two, the other half of the gang is kobolds, and really that whole group has a very keen sense of smell. So,
Like, can we just like make ourselves smell like kobolds? Like you know Meepo, right?
yes, I know Meepo.
Can we
But
make
no,
ourselves
it's-
smell like Meepo?
Well, I think you missed my point. I mean to say, unless if you intend to infiltrate them as an initiate, they know what their allies smell like. So, for example, you wouldn't be able to ambush one of them, knock them out, and disguise yourself as them, because they would then know you are not that person. Perhaps you have some way to disguise your scent. I personally have no idea how you could do that.
Actually, isn't there Noggle? Isn't there illusion spell which can disguise even your scent?
Of course there is. There's very powerful illusion type magics that can actually do those kinds of things. It's in my other spellbook.
Well, you haven't rolled for today, so
Oh, I haven't rolled for today. Let's roll for today. Let's see what kind of spell I get. Oh, I forgot. So that is
spell level 1, number 29.
129 is friends. That's actually not too bad.
No, not friends. It is level 1. So it is find
level
familiar,
1.
actually.
Find familiar? So that means I get
So
to
you-
choose one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what have you written down, Oust?
Sorry, he says for a mouthful of gnomish biscuit. Just basically what I said before. I put in that the cult leader, the remaining towers, ours contact, investigate the slave trade in general in the city, identify the ritual site if we can, and investigate imports into the city via the docks and possibly arcane goods and component merchants around the more academic area of the city. I
Right.
know that Bjorn has mentioned that the docks is probably his place to go as well. I personally would like to look in on the arcane goods / component merchants because I have something extra I want to do related to that, which isn't related to the investigation. But other than that, obviously, I'm assuming R probably needs to be the one that goes to speak to R's contact, so I put that down as well. And that is
Well-
in the sorry, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just I might need to pop back up just so because he's in the. Is it the Nvidia ward that your contact's in?
Well, I have a couple. If you mean specifically nowhere, then he could be
Yeah,
found somewhere up, somewhere on the north end of the city. A couple different
Okay.
places, but I know where to look.
But
So
actually,
he's
you're the first one up, Safis. So go ahead, Alex. Sorry, I thought you were.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like part 3 and part 4 might sound like they might be more interconnected, because you say I think you mentioned previously that Nowhere probably has an intimate knowledge of things coming in and out of the city in terms of people. So it might be that he might be able to provide more information based on I think what Meepo said about a lock gate or something like that, which was where people were coming into the city and barges were coming through the sewers. So yeah, that was what I was going to say.
All right. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. I think also something else we could look into in that same kind of vein is probably bringing some of this more up-to-date information to Professor Oath. I understand you have a resident expert, he says, indicating Nurgle, but somebody else to look into these things while we are spending our time throughout the city might be a little more efficient use.
You said they could smell. Like a question on the DM. Prestidigitation says I can make a harmless sensory effect, which includes an odd odor. Would that odd odor be able to be the odor of a were-rat?
I will allow you to do a spellcasting ability check versus perception or insight on the other half per heart. So if you could try to disguise yourself, you'll basically have both smell and looks, and then we'll choose the lower one as your competing role. Is that fair?
Okay, then we just need to find them.
Like replicating the smell of a kobold is probably not the easiest thing in the world. Right? It's not impossible,
like if we could just like take one kobold out, take his stuff, or like a were-rat, take his stuff, and his stuff smells like him, and like anything that would not like smell like him, like the body odor, would make it that easier. Just because, well, if I already have his stuff, I'm already like half smelling like him.
That's
I think we still have a were-rat tail as well.
Yeah, sure you have. So I think we'll start out with figuring out what you want to do. Cephis,
Right.
you're up first.
I think Cephis, and anyone that wants to come with him will be going to will attempt to get to the prison and to talk to the previous cult leader.
All right. All right. So you want to go to the prison and talk to the previous cult leader. All right. Next one, I'm just going through all of you and figuring out what you're going to do, and then we'll do it in the order that makes sense. Theus.
Okay.
I'm looking for the were-rats and trying to snag one of their like clothes, or like one of them to smell like one of them, and just looking where they are like transporting the things that they like we know that the were-rats in some ways are transporting are in the employ of the transporting goods.
That's not bad. All right. So you're going to be trying to shadow the sicky fights, the gang of were-rats and kobolds.
Like they could be transporting like some things for sacrifices, and they have to transport somewhere.
That's a pretty good idea. Oust, what are you doing?
I am going to do and this might be alongside Bjorn, investigating the imports into the city. So,
Right.
Specifically, I will focus on the arcane goods and component merchants rather than the docks themselves. But if we want to roll them into one, then that's fine with me.
That sounds fun.
I'm putting all these down on a table in the notes as well.
All right. Remember to save it any once in a while so we can see it, and you don't lose it. Nongo, what are you going to do?
I don't know what I could do for everyone right now. I guess I could do some more research on the page that we found.
Septagram.
Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I will go out and I'll see if I can find some material components for a spell that I have. I'm looking for ivory strips and a butt ton of incense.
All right.
Might be worth coming with me then for the time being.
Sure, I'll come with you. So I need 250 GP worth. Do we have that kind of coin on us right now?
Yeah, I do. And I owe you enough already.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I need 250 GP worth of incense, and I need 50 GP worth of ivory strips. So I need 4 of those, so 450, and then I can cast a Legend Lord spell.
That sounds good. So you are going to shop for Legend Law and do research, is what I'm hearing.
I'm gonna shop for legend lore, and then if we get these early enough, then I'll do the ritual today as well. And then of course I'll keep in touch with my uncle to see if we can get the flower identified.
Got it. All right. That is fine. All right. So we'll start with you, Cephis. You are going to the Iron Grass prison by yourself. Do you think Cephis would know any of the guards, or?
Probably not. He probably, at least not personally, he would probably turn anyone he finds over to, like, local, like, guard post guards. He probably doesn't frequent this area very often.
No, all right. I'm going to put on Cephis music here. All right, let's go. As we are now going to be... Boop. I'm going to put you in Staunch Flow here.
All right.
And I'm going to put down your tokens over here. I'm going to put you in the battle encounter now. So all of you can... Just going to roll it, and I'm going to edit it all in a second.
Also, like, I think you can like deactivate the sound that does every time.
Yeah, anyone rolls. I think you're right. I will definitely do that. All right, so you are now in the right order. Cephis.
Right. Oh.
There we go. Cephis, you're going to the Iron Grass prison. I'm going to move you up there.
All right.
As you have a few kind of contacts within the constabulary and the prison guards as you come in. It's a big kind of modern prison. It was built up like a few decades ago, so it's not just like some kind of murky dungeon anymore. This is a big kind of a correctional facility. As you approach the entrance, some of the guards. After checking you for weapons and stuff like that you have either hidden or left at home, you're being let into the prison. And after a few talks or a short talk with the warden, that turns out is quite a fan of figuring on you and keeping track on you in the news. They arranged for you to meet with the old cult leader. Enzo Piegat. As you are getting into the interrogation room, you see a man wearing the prison's garb. He's thin and has like hollowed out face. It looks like, and like dark kind of eye makeup that seems like it has been sitting there for quite some days. He's handcuffed and is wearing like an orange kind of jerkin and some rough-hewn uncolored pants. And it says Iron Grasp Correctional across the back and the front. He's sat down like a dwarf and a man like takes him in. You can hear the manacles jangling as he sat down clean at the interrogation table, and and the guards looks at you as if they want to figure out if you want them to cuff him to the table or not.
No, I think that's fine.
So, Enzo says as the guards leave, and he like his dark hair that goes in front of his face, he kind of wafts it away. The man who put me away. What do I owe the pleasure, Mr. Cephis?
Just a little bit of conversation. It says with a kind of a off-kilter smirk. You see, how to say this? Well, I've been to your den recently, and I saw there a little circle carved into the stone, and the expert I was with said it was really, well, amateur, to be honest. But it seems, he says, kind of tapping the side of his nose, that there has been some further activity in the area. And so
Right.
I've come to ask you a few questions about it.
Sure, man. Whatever I can do to help. And he like wafts his hair again.
Yeah.
You know, I really have to thank you. Before I came in here, I was busy, you know, trying to sacrifice virgins to the blood gods of the infinite beyond. And man, I'm turned a new leaf, and I have faith in myself and in man. And I just want to let you know that before we take the talk, I'm just real happy with the growth that you've enabled me to do. And as you roll your 27 insight,
Yeah, I was about to say, so I rolled a 27 on my insight check. How much of this is right? How much of this is him finding God in prison?
yes, both of those, pretty legit. You would say, like, he definitely
Really?
believes what he's saying. Yeah.
Interesting. That makes things way less complicated. All right, good to know. Seth is kind of tilting his head in surprise a little bit, expecting way more pushback. Says, "Well, I'm glad to see you've turned over a new leaf. In that case, maybe you can help a bit better. So, your ritual here was to sacrifice people to." He actually stops for a moment and writes something down in his journal because that's actually noted. But people to this dark god. Did this dark god have a name?
Actually, it was more like the concept of death and devastation, and the eternal kind of horrifying aspect of entropy. I don't think he, like, his dark hair, like, was again. It's just like I spent so much time in the commons, right? And now and just the rampant consumerism in our society just left me so angry because I had nothing, right? So I just wanted to break every wall down and get it kind of tumbling. Everything, like I wanted the gods to come and stomp on everybody because, you know, I was sad inside.
God, so he's one of these people. Okay.
I think honestly, I read a few books. I read a lot of books, but I never really understood precisely what was needed. Well, and then you came around and beat us up and rescued the girl, and now I'm here, forced to look at myself in the mirror, man, trying to figure out who am I, right? Who am I in this great void of entropy and nothingness that will consume all of us? Will I be someone who matters? Or will I just kind of disappear into history, being no one, nothing, right? Yeah. Really makes you think, doesn't it?
I suppose so. So then, a question for you. If somebody was to, let's say, follow up on this kind of ritual and attempt to go through with it again, would you support them?
Well, no. It would need to, like, a sacrifice is needed if you want to summon the Dark Lords of the Eternal Beyond. So, no, like, why would I kill anyone? That's, you know, that's not chill at all, dude.
God, I hate this, man. Alright. Then in that case, couple more questions. One,
Sure.
where did you find these books?
Oh, the books? So do you know about the second level of the sewers? Like, down, there's a few entrances up and down to the ruins beneath. So,
Yeah, do
like,
I know about the second layer of the sewers? I'm pretty sure I do.
yeah, you know about these. You're not, like,
Okay.
you haven't, like, you would definitely need a guide. But beneath the sewers, you have the ruins of old Stone's Flow.
Mm-hmm.
That goes on below the river and stuff like that. That's a maze and a dangerous one.
Okay. So, yeah, I know.
So down there, I found an inverted tower of obsidian, with tomes of about many different occult subjects. I was a rat catcher, you see, so that's why I had to go down there, man. And I found this inverted tower in obsidian with a lot of books bound in human flesh, human skin. And this is where I learned about the how to do occult rituals. It was pretty disturbing shit, man. I think a lot of the problems I had, if I had to isolate myself away from my low self-esteem at that point, maybe came from some of the otherworldly influences inside of those tomes.
Sure, yeah, I wonder. Just sketching something back, continuing to write something down in a little notebook he has.
But you're saying someone took it all, or what?
Took all the books that you left behind at your previous abode with the circle.
Oh, that's weird. That's like the man who came and asked about it, right?
Go on.
Well, you're here because of that investigation, right? A guy, a god somewhere from, just a Hajari guy, maybe 50 years old. He was very interested in these ritual things. I think they might have taken all the evidence, or what?
Does he have a name, and could you describe him in as much detail as possible?
He continues to describe a man of Hajari descent who has like he does his best, but no discernible features. It's like a perfect average.
Yeah, very, very generic. I don't know. He's a foreigner. He looks foreign, kind of description.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thought. Can I roll an insight check to see if, like, is his memory afflicted in some way, or does he genuinely just not have a great description of this man?
Give me an insight.
Because I don't know. We're dealing with dark magic, so like, who fucking knows? Hold on, because I have a feature about insight, so I'm just gonna make it. Yeah, no.
You can roll 8 as the lowest roll, right?
Yeah, but I think I also have something else. I know.
Wow. Jonas, now you're...
Jonas, you're like whole mic.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go, it's all fixed. Nope.
That's back. No, it's not back.
Yeah, that was weird. Alright.
It might be when you get messages sometimes. Did you get messages?
No. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, sorry. Just give me 1 second.
I'm pretty sure that you can only roll an 8, and you don't have a reliable talent, which is 10.
Yeah.
So you will, with that, you get an 18, right?
Okay, yeah. 8 plus, yeah, 18.
Let's see, on 18, you seem pretty sure that his mind hasn't been fucked around with, but that's not really your area of expertise. Maybe
actually,
Longo would be better.
This is the feature I was looking for. Lucky.
Ah, there you go. We'll go ahead and reroll.
Sure, thank you.
Just so everybody knows, I'm writing all this down in party notes as well, just so we have a reference of it.
Appreciate it. 21 then, so
21.
better.
Like, think about the description. This might be someone disguised to look like no one. But it doesn't seem like his mind has been altered too much, but you're pretty sure that you would need something to tell for certain, but it's not something that worries if it's.
Right. So then, with that, he has a couple more questions. So, what entrance did you use to get into the Undercity?
There was only 2 that I have known of. One is under the looking but no. Let's see here. I know about an entrance beneath Inertia. Do you know the corner between the H-Row Avenue and between Moran and Withgard?
Okay.
If you're in the sewers beneath that, there is a trapdoor built into to one of the platforms in the corner, and you can go down there. Otherwise, I know of an entrance route in the docks underneath the cellar of Passed On, the antique store there.
Docks, Passed On. Right these things down. Alright. And which of these 200s would you say is closer to this inverted obsidian tower?
Oh, the inverted obsidian tower was that was in the middle of the city, like the geographical midpoint. But when we removed all the books, it flooded, and there was like a lot of lava and screams of damned souls for eternity. So you might not find it if you go looking.
Cephas kind of like takes a moment to look up at this man and like look him in the eye and says, "What the fuck?"
What? I told you I'm better now.
Just shaking his head again. Alright. And sorry, did he give a name for this individual, this Hajaria individual? I think I missed that if you said he did or not.
Oh, he doesn't remember the name.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Some god.
Yeah, some guard. Okay. That's still worth noting. Right. I suppose. Unless the party wants to telepathically remind me about anything in the next 30 or so seconds, I have one more question I'm going to ask.
Wish we could, but
I mean, like we spent a whole morning planning this out, so.
Well,
what components they were? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Alex.
What components they were using in the previous ritual?
Right. Okay.
come on.
Okay. So then I'll ask that one first. What, aside from the sacrifices, what components were you using in your attempted summonings?
When you need the sacrifice, and then you need a configuration. Configuration is like it could be a septagram or a pentagram or like some kind of drawing chiseled into stone or
Sure.
yeah, that kind of thing. As a part of the configuration, like a lot of people don't know this, but if you want to empower that, then you have to have a siphon built into it. So something that will maybe like collect the blood or somehow act as an actual gateway of some kind to take the souls of the people that you want to sacrifice into the configuration.
Siphon. All right.
So you'll need that if you want to be pro about it. I never was good at the whole configuration thing. Never been good at drawing. I have two left hands. My mom told me at least. Then you need material components. It depends on where you want to go, man. Right? So if you want to summon something from the great beyond, for the realm of madness. You could probably do with some, I don't know, a bunch of dead squids or a bunch of like real random shit, like
what about
debris.
the hells?
Oh, brimstone, man, sulfur, like tons of that. If you want to empower something, you can use magicite. Gemstones are usually good, like some rubies for more hellish things. Opals for more frosty things. I think. Demons, man, they have a lot of, or fiends in general, they have a lot of thing about color and symbolism, right? So if it's, it doesn't even need to be different. It could just be like a black ruby and a red ruby, and it will be different to them. You know what I mean?
All right.
Of course, you always need incense. You'll need people chanting in a foreign language, maybe in some kind of dark, forgotten one that is related to the entity you want to summon, right? It's not an exact.
This is like
science,
half
right?
chuckling to himself at this point, like this guy's actually a fucking lunatic and he loves it, but he hates it so much.
It's not an exact science, right? Because it's more like it's like you have a how do I say this while being in character? All right. So it's like if you want to communicate, it's like a piece of paper, right? You can send it as a letter, but who it's sent to and what it says is up to how you write it, right? So the same the same configuration and the same sacrifice can go to different places depending on the material components or the chanting or the
Noted.
And the configuration, of course, as well.
All right, and my last question as of right now, is there
Right
any
on, man.
particular dates, meteorological events, weather pattern, or so on that this type of ritual would, if not require, at least be at its most capable?
Well, yeah. Full moon is always good. New moon is always
Course, yeah.
good. Uh, waning and waxing moon sometimes, depending of if you want to do, the left or the right eye of of the abyss. Again, that's not anything specific. That's more like, but usually full moons are important. If any planets are in are in a line, that's good as well. But usually, what you really want to do is you want to find some ley lines that intersect. That's real good. Storage flow is really good for that. It has 7 ley lines in one place, so it's just crazy. That's why they have the big septicgram in the streets. It's fucking wild, dude.
I am aware. Thank you.
Right.
Uh,
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Actual last question as he's standing up to leave. Where did you procure your sacrifices? Anywhere specific, or did you just snatch people off the streets?
No, me and my friends, the 2 guys you killed.
Mm-hmm. No, I remember.
Yeah, we just snatched the girl off the street, right?
Right.
But actually, Jeff was kind of into her, which was probably why you figured out the connection and the motive, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, we just kind
I-
of grabbed
I
her.
would like to emphasize, amateur, he says, pointing at this man. Professional, he says, pointing at himself.
Yeah, man, I'm fine. I have no more self-esteem issues. I know what I did was wrong, but I'm just trying to, give back to society. This is why I'm telling you about these super messed up things, right? You're not
Yes,
going to use this for any rituals, right?
No, in fact, the exact opposite. And if we're lucky, we'll get to save about 666 young girls' lives. Have a nice day. And
That's pretty dope.
Will
Do you
turn
think the
around
guy
and leave.
that was in here wants to do the ritual, or heard anyone with the information?
I would be flabbergasted if he didn't. He says, over his shoulder as he's leaving, just really desperate to get out of here at this point.
Fuck. So that was Enzo.
Mm-hmm. Lot more college age experimental. Maybe the dark gods will save me from capitalism than I was expecting.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah, don't at me. If the world's destroyed, then capitalism is too.
Yeah, you go. Precisely. That's logic.
In the great words of Tim Curry, let's leave for the one place not tainted by capitalism: space. What a great Command & Conquer's quote.
Beautiful.
I'm picking out of party notes if you want to add anything else into that. By the way.
Yes, thank you. While someone else is taking their turn, I will look at that and just keep an eye out.
This is an
Please.
IKEA modular summoning circle. That is amazing. I love that.
Bjork?
I want to go with Beyond the Dogs because I thought the rats would probably be getting their things from the dogs and transport them somewhere.
Sure. You were just before you go too hard out of the dots. I think Meepo last session mentioned something called the Smuggler's Pier, which is a hidden kind of entrance to the city in the sewer runouts.
Yeah, but I still have to get a
Sure.
lonely rat, and this is probably
That's sure. I just wanted to say that. So you already know that some of it is coming in through there, but you don't really know much about precisely what it might be something in the real pier. But you're going with Bjorn and Aust to the docks to look for what specifically, just to make sure that.
Oh no, Bjorn wants to look for around the docks, so I'm helping him with that. And as soon as he's finished, I want to look for any rat people that are skittering around, and then I want to disguise myself. We will I'll talk to Bjorn. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
So plan. We will go to the docks, and after you finish talking with people there, we will look for a lonely rat. We will nab him, knock him out. You have to do this. I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. And then we will take all his stuff. Maybe I put up some suggestion on him. And then I will infiltrate the rats. That's the plan.
Knockout, rob, and
Yeah, I need your muscles.
I
Yeah,
got
you look at these noodle arms. You know, I can't knock someone out. I've never in this
well,
before. Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what? Snicksnack says. But my mama told me not to mess with the wrong people. I reckon she meant people like you guys.
She probably did.
Do you always just knock out Ratman?
Not. But. Well, actually, I think it's gonna be my first.
Can't understand you,
doesn't
Bjorn.
matter.
Sorry, you're cutting off.
Oh. Well, Snicksnack, it's not something you should think about. We have business. Let's go.
All right. He looks at Oust. Make sure they don't do anything foul with that Ratman.
I can promise nothing.
Yes, you make your way down to Nvidia, the harbor. Make your way through town. I should go down there. Oust, you were looking for any kind of components. What were you looking for? Because we'll take the investigation in the harbor, and then we're going to do the assault on a Ratman after that.
Okay, yeah, so I'd imagine, like, on the way to the harbour, I'd probably split off and go towards more sort of Spire Shade and kind of Gloria and kind of the districts around there where I think it's more kind of shop-based. So I'm, like, talking to the merchants directly rather than the people that are bringing it in. I'm kind of trying to follow the money a little bit.
Magic components is usually pretty deeply controlled by the conventicle, so you would probably look for some less than legit people.
Okay. Yeah, primarily that, but also if I know of any, and this is the additional thing, if I know of any areas that set like that are purveyors of magic items and goods, I'd like to stop in there. I don't know whether there would be many anyway, because I think that's controlled by the conventional guild as well. But if there is anything, you know, on the kind of on any level, then I would like to drop in there also.
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Sure thing.
Oh, also just in case.
Yes, Leon? He froze.
He's frozen.
He might be.
Right.
He might be deconning.
That's an investigation is 21 from a 14.
21 from a 14. All right. So you're looking for merchants of magical items and
yeah, and then shadier importers of magical components.
All right, I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay. Yeah, I can do this stuff. I can do one of these in another day or something like that. which
Do
is
you
fine.
want some very interesting components, or do you want some interesting item?
Well, I'm so the component merchants. I'm not looking to cure anything. I'm looking to kind of see
When I'm,
kind of
when I'm
from
saying
their book.
interesting, I mean interesting to you, or as in your situation as well, right? So,
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go. We'll go for the components for the timing because that's kind of priority number one.
you get a feeling, and you go with Bjorn and Theus down. Theus might be actually disconnected. I'll quickly write him. There we go. Yeah, that was loading. Let's see. You go down there with Bjorn and Theus. Busy day, lots of people around. You see a few kind of a lot of people running around selling fish and kind of importing things and ships coming in and out.
I will be hosting Cerenar for the day as well. Just for the sake of
so
any interaction.
all right. So you have taken the form as. Can you describe Hostel Cerenar again for all of us?
Cerenar looks reasonably like myself. Probably longer hair, fancier clothing. If possible, a snootier air than Oust has already. But he's kind of very up himself, but kind of also the kind of guy that kind of fancies himself a bit. Like he's upper class, but he's trying to get involved in all the wrong places. Kind of thing.
Perfect. All of you kind of walk down here, and then what you see is kind of the sea kind of being parted in some way, and two beings stand around, but no one seems to kind of notice them really. 9 to 10 feet tall, janky, like lanky, long arms and legs, clad completely in black. It seems like there's no head on their shoulders. Their body just continues up in like a kind of an oval shape, and there's just like a metal grid inside of on where the head or the face should be on these very lanky kind of people. They are dragging behind them a sled. You can just hear coursing on the flagstones of the street. And like each of the arms have 2 elbows, as it seems like every once in a while they talk with someone who is horrified but interesting, and it seems like they're trying to sell them like in their long clawed hands with like 1 or 2 joints too many. You see like red crystals shining almost in their hands. It seems like these creatures, people, kind of choose who perceives them.
Do I, from any of my readings and things like that, is this a creature or a? Firstly, do I work out if it's a creature or somebody in a kind of suit, like almost like a kind of old? In my head, the initial thought was like a stretched out old school diving costume. But yeah, is this a creature in itself? And what is that creature? If I do know, and
you know what? All 3 of you can give me a history roll.
Dirty 20.
I have to reload Foundry. For some reason, it's currently like just not moving.
Your internet is great today, Leon.
No, it's not internet. My computer blue screen. I don't know why.
Oh,
I think it's something with my driver.
that's a real quick startup, though.
Yeah, I blue screen on startup today too. It's horrible.
All right.
Wait a sec. I still have
I have
to
a feeling
load
that
here.
Bjorn isn't quite sure what they are.
So history.
Not in real life, and Björn doesn't either.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on this one, but I'm gonna draw this in my notes.
Leon, you get a dirty 20 as well.
Yeah.
Both of you, Leon and Aus, remember, like, you keep track of the news, like, generally, right? And you've heard rumors of weird merchants or kind of traders from old Skywrath. These kind of tall, lanky humanoids coming in to trade with people, like usually in pairs, but very seldomly. Like it seems like they are kind of shy. Would be a good idea.
Okay.
But it seems like they need silver specifically, not gold, but silver is what they want to buy.
Okay. Are they approaching? Are they approaching us directly? Or are they just kind of walking, sort of past us?
They're kind of standing
like
at the,
in
at
the
the side of the
vicinity?
street. Kind of standing on the side of the street. A lot of people don't seem to notice them, but you guys notice them, and you can see that you notice them, and only a few other people notice them. So it's like they're protected
Additional
by some
question.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Additional question: the kind of people that we can kind of perceive are noticing them. What kind of people are they? Like, are they merchants? Are they common folk going about their business? Do they look particularly shifty?
They look somewhat shifty. Give me an insight. Give me an insight, Aus. The rest of you can also do that if you want. Theus and Pew, if you want to do an insight.
That is a roll a 10 for a 9 total.
Bjorn, do you want to do an insight too, or no? Oh,
There we go. That's why we keep the barbarian.
Bjorn, you as you look at this, it seems like the people who see them are people who won't automatically be too alarmed.
People with strong stomachs.
So I think we found what you are looking for.
Well, let's introduce ourselves, shall we? Basically, as soon as I've seen these things, I will be dropping like the personality of Hoster, but I'll maintain the illusion. What was that?
Do you need backup or?
Oh, always.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of imposing, but not too intimidating. Okay, cool. Anyway, and I'll kind of toddle on over. He goes, "Hail, gentlemen, ladies, oak."
Oh, hello. The tall one looks at you, and it doesn't have a neck, so it kind of just leans over you like in a super imposing way. It says, "The Lord of the Spire greets you, young. How can we do business with you today?" And the fist kind of rolls out. 6 fingers, like 5 or 6 joints, and there's just like a handful of red crystals kind of just glowing in the hand.
Well, lovely to meet you both. My my best wishes to the Lord of the Spire also. I myself am Oust. These are my companions, Bjorn and Theus. Tell me, what do you have to trade, to barter today? This is jolly good.
Sell the rain from heaven,
What?
fire
Rain?
that burnt all of sky. Powerful magic not to be found anywhere else, but in the realm, the Spire Lord.
Well, that's jolly exciting. I think we can all agree that's lovely stuff. I mean, firstly, if you wouldn't mind, a couple of questions whilst I inquire about the goods. You sold much recently?
What is a lot for one such as you?
Well, you see how much you got in your hand? Far more than that. Boats full, maybe, or no.
No. We arrived to this city of prison demons. What is the name of this place again?
This is Staunchflow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where people live and go to work. We
So I've heard.
arrived yesterday.
Ah, well, we've only been here a couple of days.
Do you think, Stephen? And the other one looks.
Stephen.
I think having a job is good. Yes. Very good. He looks at you. Would you like to acquire rain, fire from the sky?
Oh, I mean, I couldn't pass up an opportunity such as that. Please do tell. What would you like? Would you like in return?
In silver and chain.
All right.
Chains for the obsidian spire, that it may rise above the polluted mists of our homeland evermore.
But of course. Question regarding to the DM regarding currency. Obviously, I have all my currency in my thing in gold. But how do we do the dividing? Is it a case of we just take it out
You're
in
a
silver?
D100, my dude.
Okay, cool. 85.
85% of your monies is in silver.
Fucking fantastic. Well,
How convenient
and
you
I'll-
have so much silver on you, my friend.
Oh, a fuckload of silver. There we
Yeah,
go.
if you had rolled a zero, you would have been shit out of luck. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no werewolves coming near me anytime soon. That's great. Well, I happen to have a an inordinate amount of silver on me, so perhaps I can. Tell you what, I'll start getting them out, and you tell me when is
will
enough.
be very useful to fight back the corrupted beasts of homeland.
Interesting.
Yes.
Jolly good.
History is interesting. Yes.
Isn't it just? And
How
additionally,
can I ask you something quickly without interrupting our business transaction?
you can ask me whatever you want. Sorry, his name was Stephen. What was your name?
Oh, John.
John and Stephen. Lovely names.
Yes, we
yes.
use names you would understand, so we do not scare you off.
That makes far more sense. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Yes, John, fire away.
How do you converse in a proper manner as to not... It looks like it's thinking, seem too weird to people. Weird is the word for unusual, unsettling, different? Yes.
Different. Yes. Well, I mean, Step one.
Steven is like taking out a parlor, like kind of flipping through the pages.
You know, inquisitiveness is fine. It's fantastic. But
Yes.
the simpler the question, the weirder you'll sound in many ways. Bear that in
Oh.
mind. But you know,
Simple like, how is the air?
yes, that would be a weird question. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What about a complicated question such as, do you have feeling?
That's slightly less weird. You may need
Yes.
to. I believe a common Rufurian term is flower it up a bit. But
Steven
you know,
kind of interrupts. Having feelings are implicit for humanoid creatures such as these, John. I think maybe not treating them as being implicit will be weird, unusual, different, or unsettling.
there we go. Stephen's got it. Jolly
Very
good.
well.
Lovely.
I'm very sorry about your feelings there.
Oh no, not at all. My feelings are, well, frankly, infused today. This is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet both of you.
Happy
but,
to do a legitimate business transaction.
Yes. Now, you mentioned history. And I happen to be a rather
Yes,
connoisseur. somewhat.
our impending victory over the corrupted beasts. That will be history for the Spire Lord.
Certainly. Now, I and please excuse my ignorance of your great people, but do you happen to have certain written histories of such things?
We have no use for these symbols you call writing.
We do call it that. Never mind. That's a shame. Well,
When-
maybe should we meet another time, I would love to share a drink, which is something that you partake in. It's liquid. Unlike your rain, which appears to be
we
solid.
also partake in drinking liquids and eating solids. Yes.
Fantastic. There we
Steven
go.
does this
Well,
from the background.
lovely stuff. Well, I mean, should we see you again? Happy to share a drink, eat some food, partake in festivities and conversation with you. I am very much interested in your peoples. However,
Thank
times
you.
of the
It
essence,
is
I'm sure we
very
have to do business.
helpful that you use so many synonyms. It makes it easier for me to translate.
Yes, it does. Tell you what, next time I see you, I'll bring a dictionary. How about that?
Very well.
Ah, lovely. Well, there we go. And perhaps in return, you can tell me some of your stories. Anyway,
Yes.
right, back to red crystal rain from the sky. Shall we?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well,
how much do you want to acquire?
and just like you kind of said about their
He opens,
size, how much has he
like,
got
a big
on him?
suit, and there's just like just everywhere as it just completely
Oh.
lights you up.
Jolly good. Tell you what, and forgive me again for my ignorance, my lack of knowledge. Just in terms of sort of a couple of pounds would be fantastic of weight.
This one has much silver.
How much silver would
Fear
that be,
not.
roughly?
1 pound? 1 pound will be 500. 5,000 silver pieces. Of your,
Okay, how about 1/10 of a pound?
That would be 500 silver.
Yes, it would. Absolutely.
500.
500 silver would be what I'd be prepared to offer you at this time. Perhaps at some point I'd be able to offer you more. However, at the moment, that seems more than enough for me.
Yes.
Okay, in which case I will pull
Would you
out 500
produce the
silver,
payment
which would
for
be
our goods
50 gold,
in this
right?
legitimate business transaction?
because I don't know if you've got any extra pouches, I'm afraid, but otherwise I'm just going to kind of have to pile it onto you. But
Do you know
yeah.
how kids sometimes like take out their T-shirt and they will like put things in it to carry things
Yeah,
around?
it's that kind of thing. I've kind of
Steven-
got
Steven
a
kind of-
cape.
Steven
Yeah.
kind of takes out like his T-shirt and you just like kind of pour down the 500 coins and they just disappear
Excellent.
in somewhere. Yes,
Well,
thank
yes,
you very much for your legitimate business.
Not at all.
Yes,
Not
it
at
is
all. Not
Good
at all.
to
Also,
have silver. Yes.
word of note, sometimes the use of the word legitimate when you say legitimate business makes it sound less legitimate. One to think about, one to ruminate on.
Ah, yes. Haha. Counterintuitive logic. We have heard about
Yes.
this.
It's one of those things that we non-Scarafi, would consider weird.
Ah, well, that is why the Lord has shrouded us from people who will be too displeased to see us.
Of course. Yes, and a jolly good job he's doing.
Yes.
But yes,
Our Lord
so
sees everything. He is the savior of this world. And when the
Jolly
beasts
good.
from the far realms come to eat everything, he will stand against the tide of chaos.
well, good to know that somebody will.
Yes.
There we go.
But first, we will destroy the corrupted beasts of our land.
I would hope so too.
Yes. Hope.
Myself.
What is his
Anyway,
name?
so
What is in your own language?
The name of the Spire Lord?
if that's not too offensive a question to ask, of course.
Let me have a look. So I give you the right one, actually.
It's Bill.
Frank.
Clive.
Steve, John, and Bill, you know?
It's Frank.
Something
I like
that,
John
yeah.
and Steve.
They're great. I just want to know what the hell race they are.
Ah, yes.
It sounds to me like they're an obscure second edition race called the Arcane.
Nightwalkers, that's the problem.
Yes.
They're all from the negative plane.
Names are words or sounds with which we identify each other. Yes?
Correct. Certainly.
Yes. Well, we use the Spire Lord as the sound to identify the Lord of the Spire. But if you're
Makes
talking
sense.
about his essence, which I think is that is what you were asking. Yes?
Sure. Yes.
Björn looks a bit confused, but says, "Sure."
Well,
Right.
I'm expecting like a screech of static coming through. No, just like,
it sounds like they look at each other and they don't say anything for a second. They,
A lovely
they stare at
name.
each other for a second, and then he looks. Ah, yes. His name is Zeus.
There we go.
Zeus.
Thank you.
Lovely stuff. Well,
But
And,
he
uh,
also
do they-
has another name.
oh, does he?
Yes.
Go on.
He's also called Jupiter.
Jupiter, lovely.
Yes. And the ascending one.
The ascending one.
Yes.
Quite catchy.
And of course, also Matt. To his
Of
friends.
course.
Matt, to his friends.
He is distant, right?
He is everywhere. And they bow slowly towards you.
Well, and have they handed over the red?
Yes,
crystal?
you have engaged in legitimate business transactions with these creatures.
Fantastic. Well, Charlie and I speaking to you all. Again, send our best to the ascending one. And
Yes.
hope to see you again soon. And I'll kind of do the Columbo thing where I turn around and just go, one more thing.
Ah, yes, another thing.
This red crystal is quite distinctive. Would you perhaps recognize? And I'll kind of sort of, just pull out some of the green dust that I have on me at any given time because it's just covered in me. Let's go. Don't suppose this is recognizable to you?
Ah, yes, this is a green mineral. They nod. Yes, a green mineral.
Any particular green mineral?
Yes, the one you're holding.
Yes.
Ah,
No,
he's
yes.
asking if we know the properties of it. Ah, yes. Properties.
Yes, Stephen, I am. Absolute fantastic
yes.
job, Stephen.
Properties. Is it conductive? he says, like looking at you.
Is it conductive? Is it conductive?
You don't know
really
what
tried, I guess.
electricity is. So no.
Good point. I have no idea what electricity is, so I don't know if it is.
He does not know what electricity is. Yes.
Oh, of course.
You can give it to us, and we can try to identify the properties of the mineral you have produced.
You know what? In for a silver, in for a pound of red crystal. Yeah, and I'll kind of just sort of sprinkle some in their like giant sort of
Like
black palms.
Steven like take it up and put it somewhere in his robes. Yes, we will now continue our day. And so will you go on existing at another time? Yes.
I certainly hope so.
Yes, we also hope that you will not end your existence.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, thank you.
What a fucking
Well,
statement.
anyway, yes. If you find anything out, and you happen to bump into me, don't hesitate to let me know. Again, lovely to meet you both.
Within the realms of possibility, such a future can be imagined for sure. Yes. Yes, it is possible. It is, in fact, a possibility. And they kind of bow to you, like long limbs with too many joints. And then
I
they
will
kind
bow
of,
back.
Kind of leave.
Oh, I could turn back to Bjorn and Fierce and goes, lovely gentleman. There we go. Anyway, I got some of this red stuff. I'll give it to Nongle later, see what he can see about it. Or Snick Snack. They might be able to do some,
Whoa,
spectrometry or something on it.
Don't start replacing one nomad for the next, okay? Nongle's your guy, all right?
They're all the same.
Whoa!
Whoa! Bruh, what up?
Us nomads will get you! God damn it!
You'll have to stand on top of each other.
Hashtag not all nomads.
Not all nomads.
Anyway, sorry.
Yes,
gentlemen,
go ahead.
carry on with your investigations. Sounds like we have the rest of the dogs to investigate. So,
So,
Carol.
Fierce and Bjorn, what role should I make you do
Okay, Bjorn, do you
to
think
see
first?
if you subdue a fucking red person?
Okay, I want to talk with people here that saw like red people, like I assume these red people have been here in the dogs, like seen by someone. So I guess I would ask around if we could
I will let you roll your investigation with your charisma modifier.
Alright. So it's investigation, but this here is +5 instead. So it's a 24.
Ooh. After the
just so that it makes sense, I'm currently disguised as Barney. This is why people are so friendly towards me.
Perfect. You are disguised as the famous purple dragonborn Banet. After asking around, you find a place where you kind of can sneak up on a red guy.
Okay, Bjorn. Like the muscle is you. Like I am talking.
Yeah.
You are the muscle.
This is my time. It's my time.
I think there's another role that we don't currently occupy. But for like doing anything, you only need muscle and a talker, right? Nothing else.
You don't need any kind of thinker.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
I can see no problem here.
Yeah.
This is
Okay,
gonna
no
be
athletics
problem.
roll.
Let's go. Let's fucking go, Bjorn.
Give me an
So,
athletics
yeah.
roll, Bjorn.
Oh boy. Bjorn, I believe in you.
one of my favorite. 28.
Bjorn, you utterly incapacitate this red person. Tell me, like, he's just scurrying around in some filth in like an alley somewhere. Describe to me how you assault him, I guess.
I think it's gonna be Fierce is pointing him out in the alley, and the big man Bjorn is body slamming him into the wall,
You suplex him.
and then picks the red body.
Well,
off
hello
his
there.
body.
Here we see
And-
our contestant John going for a full German suplex against a red person.
You
and, presenting the thing, the remains or
the whole thing takes less than a second. This red person doesn't move an inch.
Was there
You're
a
not
large,
sure it
was there a
is
large
very much.
crack? You broke his neck?
Wait,
Like,
did
what's
you
going on?
wait, Bjorn? Did you kill him?
He's
I
so
didn't
small and
check.
tiny.
Wait,
But-
wait, is that red person yet now dead? Check.
Oh, it's on saving throws.
Oh shit. I would prefer if we don't kill like anything unnecessary. Like sometimes killing is good.
I'll let you stabilize the red person.
I don't know.
I know killing is good.
I take some like dirty rag that I found somewhere on the dog and like just put it in the mouth. I take some ropes that I found on the dogs here and just, like
You kind of stabilize the red person that like
I
just
also
was
like
literally
strip
was
him
hit by a
naked.
train.
I also strip him naked.
Yep, he's furry and ready. Yeah.
Yeah. This is so wrong, but I will also cast suggestion on him.
All right, sure. Yeah, he
Is he-
like it auto
is he
fails.
unconscious?
Yeah.
No, I mean, if
Yeah.
he's unconscious, can he hear suggestion?
Nah, like I would try to like stab him on his cheek just to wake him up.
Okay.
And I will cast
You know,
suggestion.
I'll let you cast suggestion on him, even if it's not like even if it's
Okay, I will tell him.
you have this guy fucking caught. He rolled a
Okay,
28
good.
on his athletics. It's
I will
not even
suggest
fun.
to him that if he's currently valuing his life, he will tell me everything that he knows about the current situation, about himself, so I can emulate him. I want to like copy him as best as I can. So I just want to essentially tell me the things you know and how you behave as quickly as possible if you don't want to die. That's a suggestion.
This were-rat kind of tells you all of his life story, like growing up in the Woven Commons.
Not in 8 hours. This is an 8 hour spell. I don't want to go this for 8 hours.
No, I'm just giving you the abbreviation here, right? So we'll just montage this as
good.
he's a street kid from the Woven Commons, and he got into like some gang activity as he was young, and then he
Yeah,
could
faster.
he could become a part of the Siggy fights, but then he had to get bitten by a rat.
Skip.
And then his
Like, just skip this
girlfriend.
Skip. Oh my god, I want to skip the cinematic. Skip cutscene.
You figure out who he is and what he does. You know that they are definitely transporting cages, some of them with girls, through the sewers. They also get crates from the smugglers' pier, smuggled through the sewers. They use an entrance to the lower sewers in inertia, and then they hand it over. Yeah, in inertia, and then they go northwest, below the river, up on the other side, and then somewhere underneath the projects, they hand it over to some people he doesn't know.
Then northwest.
Under the
to
projects.
On the where is it? Okay.
Projects, I will ping the map. Somewhere around this area here.
Oh yeah, there. Okay, the projects.
And then they hand it over to someone, and then he doesn't know what happens to it.
All right.
They use
When,
trolls.
like,
and they
does
have,
he also like tell me when the next delivery is?
they're ready at all times. It's not like
Yeah, but there's a time like when are they delivering? Like there's not a constant stream, right? Like
Yeah.
daily, I assume.
whenever they have something to deliver, they do it. So it's not like you get the feeling that a bunch of kobolds and were-rats are not the most organized people. So basically what he tells you is they're just hanging out, and then when their bosses tell them, oh, now there's a float, take it to the place, they kind of just do that. Does that make sense?
All right.
So it's so you think basically you have a couple of options. You could kind of wait for the next delivery to come into the smuggler's pier and then follow that. You could wait at a place during the route that you know roughly, or you could look around in the projects.
Like I'm trying to like assume his role here.
Yeah.
So what like I assume like I want to be there without being suspicious. So I assume like the way he told me his whole life story, I would join at a time where it's the least suspicious.
It's his day off today, but tomorrow he has to meet the others at dawn by the smuggler's pier and wait for any deliveries.
All right, I will be there. John, show him mercy, but like he's still like conscious. Beyond, you can do what you want with him. Yeah, but maybe not kill him. Maybe not kill him. Like he told us.
Are you telling me I can do what I want or not kill him? Like,
Yeah, you can do what you want. You can do what you want except kill him.
then I don't want to do anything.
Bjorn, can you show a little bit of violence just so that he like can't go against us?
I can break him, but I can't assure you that I won't kill him.
Please don't break me. I'm just a disenfranchised
Bjorn,
dude from the
we
slums.
tried
Please
this
don't
so
kill me.
much. Like the last time, I thought we practiced this. Like the last time.
I only stab people and do drugs because of the people who raised me were bad, and I'm in bad company. Please don't kill me.
Yeah, we're not killing you, but this is a very good learning opportunity for Bjorn to show I keep a good eye on you so he doesn't break you.
Ah,
Just
alright,
be
thank you.
sure.
He's just pleading for his life in a weird, like,
Okay.
enchanted way.
Okay, good. He's still
Like, while
jumped.
yeah. Please don't kill me. I'm already really
Like,
ashamed
I'm
of
not
me. I
killing you,
poop,
but we
I
need
poop myself when I
someone
sleep sometimes.
that
I'm really
Bjorn can practice on to be violent, but not deadly violent, but coercing violence. Like
I think
Bjorn.
this is the scariest time in my life at all times. Please don't hurt me anymore.
Bjorn, I'll leave it to you.
You confused me. I don't know what to do.
Be gentle
Yeah.
violence. We just want.
Oh no. Gentle. It's hurting my head. How do you gentle violent? Oh no.
Alright, this is not
killed him.
work.
I killed him.
Oh no! Shit!
Just-
No.
you just flatten
Oh,
his
no.
chest like it's a half empty balloon, and he dies in the
Bjorn!
alleyway next to you.
Bjorn!
I'm sorry.
Like we need like some kind of like maybe doll. Like I can like next time I will purchase doll, and then we can like practice gentle violence on it without breaking it. Okay? Like just like life size doll. Okay? And then we can practice. All right?
Yeah,
Okay, Bjorn.
good.
Don't
Meanwhile,
worry, you are still the best, and what you're doing is good. But you
Oh,
need
thank
to know like your limits. You're strong, but there's so much power, and with great power comes great responsibility, Bjorn.
Okay.
how long does Leon, or not Leon, sorry, Theus lecture Bjorn?
Like I know that Bjorn's attention span is like maybe 30 seconds, so I keep it up for another 5 seconds, and then I will go. Okay, I will try now to. We have to get rid of this corpse, and
And that's how you spend the remainder of your afternoon. Nongle, in the meanwhile, you are looking into like you get the identification of the flower.
Yeah.
So the flower, let me see. I'm just going to find the poisons of 5e2 or 5e here. Let's see items. I'm going to poison. All right, let's go. That's one that just puts people asleep, right? I don't remember. It's basically it's magical, and it's poisonous. So someone who inhales this poison will have to succeed on a DC 15 con save or be knocked or fall asleep.
So it is magical based, though, right?
It is magical based.
Okay.
If you you could probably find a way to harvest this and make like apparatuses to spread the poison, but right now it will only be people like smelling your flower, so to say.
Okay. All right. I'll keep
You
that.
could probably remove it with a remove curse spell as well,
Okay.
or a dispel magic. That is high enough. Roll high enough.
Okay, so I don't have remove curse, and dispel magic unfortunately was one of my
Forgotten spells.
Oh, I forgot spells. So yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I'll just keep it hanging out for a little bit. I'll just wear a bandana over it, no problem, right? But while I'm doing that bandana or whatever, I'll try to disguise myself. because I want to go out and buy material components. So I want to look magically inclined, but not like Nongle.
All right. Give me a. Do you have a disguise proficiency?
No, but I'll use my as I'm preparing the actual as I'm preparing, I will use knowledge of the ages to give me 10 minutes.
Give me a proficient intelligence roll. Then.
Intelligence roll. All right. So
Yes.
I will use my history, but this will be disguise.
Sure.
So that'll be a 13.
It's not too bad. You disguise yourself as you're going out and about.
All right, cool. I'll go and I'll try to find. I'm assuming. I think Ost, you gave me money, or was it Safis who gave me money? I needed 450 GP.
Already,
sure.
or you need it now?
Well, I needed it like in the morning when we were discussing. I needed it to go buy the components, right?
Yeah, I can tell you it wasn't Cephis.
Okay, cool. Because I think our
I can do 450.
yeah from our
Wait, what's our party?
party loot from what I can see only has 250 in it right now, and I'm carrying nothing but shrapnel.
Okay, right. I will, take the 250, and then I will give you another 200
Okay, sounds good.
as partial compensation.
Give me an investigation roll as well as you are looking around the city.
That I can do. Wow, I rolled a natural 3 last time, natural 4 this time. 14.
14. You managed to find the. I'll say, because this is you buying things, and it's not that weird to buy ivory strips and a lot of incense. You spent the day going from shop to shop. Like most of these shops have maybe 5 gold worth of incense. So you have to basically trek through town, just going through incense store to incense store. Like you go to weird kind of new age herbal tea stores that has incense. You go to occult places. You go to like places that has far goods from far away, and you end up with just a fucking shit ton of incense in the bag of holding from all kinds of sources as you walk around and get all of these things. So ivory strips, you find someone who has an old piano who kind of fashions them for you from 2 of the keys.
Perfect. All right, good.
Yeah. You return with you spend your day walking around trying to figure all that out. So because of your low roll, you don't get to follow up on that right now. You can cast the spells in the evening though if you want.
Yeah, I'll cast a spell when I get the party together and see what we do, right?
So in the evening, you gather up all of you and you cast Legend Lore there, or did you do that before, or?
No, I'll want to discuss with the party before I cast Legend Lore and see what I'm
You,
actually going to be doing it on, right?
Yeah, Theus?
Did we sink the red body in the docks?
Yes.
He's now sleeping with the fishes.
He's sleeping with the fishes. Rest in pieces. So you're back at the levitator. All of you.
Right. Well, I suppose we spend the next amount of time catching each other up on all of these important details.
I killed a
Certainly.
rat today.
He did,
Job.
apparently.
Regular rat catcher.
I made some friends, which was nice. Their names are Stephen and John, and they're lovely. And also, Nongle, they also gave me, I bought this, which they say fell from the sky, in Skywrath. I should have pointed out from the top, they are from Skywrath. They were large, 7 to 8 feet tall, sort of automaton-like creatures. I'm not sure whether they were living or not. They were strange, but they were getting there. But anyway, here is, well, I have 1.6 ounces of this red crystal of some format. So I'd love to know what it was at some point. I'm afraid not a geologist, although I did take a couple of classes. But yes, so if we could find out, that would be lovely.
Sure, yeah, I'll take a look.
Give me that kind of check. Nongo.
25.
Yes.
25. This is some kind of magicide. You know the story of old Skywrath. It was a big place with lots of floating islands and mages living everywhere in these flying cities. And then a civil war broke out, and a lot of magic was pumped out into the world. And in the end, because of all the magic, it just fucked up the environment so much that in the end, a lot of crystals, red crystals, rained from the sky, shut down all of the floating islands, and completely destroyed the area of Skywrath. So that is the general story of Skywrath, as you know that, and a warning story of using magic too frivolously. If this is the crystals that rain from the sky, this is pretty fucked up. Your first guess is that this is some kind of corrupted magicite.
Oh, corrupted. Interesting.
And
So, just
you would have
in
to,
layman's terms, to be clear, you're literally just holding active uranium.
more or less.
Tell you what, let's put this in the bag. Just in case. Or do we?
You could you could spend a day looking at it, Nongo, and you would the magic is too unpredictable. You can't identify it with a spell. You would have to sit down and research, like good old fashioned research.
Maybe for another time then. Do you know what? I'll hold on to it for the time being.
Did they have much of this? You said there was something.
Oh, they were pissy with the stuff. Yeah, they had an inordinate amount. This was just what I could afford. This is 50 gold pieces worth. Although they needed in silver, they were very insistent on silver.
Silver.
So,
Well,
yes.
it's interesting.
I think they said something about cleaning the corruption or fighting the corrupted beasts. That something. Yes,
Like,
but no, I mean,
monsters live out in that area, and a lot of them.
Well,
Yeah,
I do
so,
have some of the other magicite that we collected from the strange statue. Perhaps I can compare the two and see if we can't make one more similar to the other. Could be quite valuable and possibly a way we want to invest some money.
or perhaps we can see whether this corruption could be useful to us.
I was thinking
knows?
reverse, but it could be useful. Yes.
So yeah, I'll give him a couple of crystals of it. Out of the 1.6 grams and 1.6 ounces, and then I'll keep the rest. Also, possibly a job for your uncle at some point. It just occurred to me back then that we never actually found out what this green dust that I keep shedding is. So I'd be worth.
You see, Snicksnack says, "Well, I'm pretty sure if we put that inside of the wagon, it could probably run forever. I would have to. It could maybe stop just pouring grease into the tank every other day."
What, my green dust or this stuff?
No. I'm talking about the red crystal thing.
Oh well, the red crystal. Tell you what, let's put that on the back burner for now. Not literally the back burner, but let's and then let's see. But yeah, but in the meantime, I wouldn't mind if you did a little bit of analysis on. Well, I mean, you've said enough of it. The levitator keeps on having to hoover it up, but the green dust, just out of curiosity more than anything.
Sure,
I
I have a look at that. I'm not going to. In the meantime, what is his name? I forgot that. Go.
Oh yeah, Bjorn and I
Garwa.
also found out
Gawa, yeah, that is.
that.
Yeah, go ahead, Leon.
Oh yeah, Bjorn and I also found out that the Red Men are transporting their components to the projects, where they meet a middleman, which then probably delivers the things to sacrifice. So if we can sneak in, the people who can either sneak or disguise themselves, go to the projects, and then we can I can disguise myself as an insider, as a rat, literal rat, and the rest can follow up, and then we can follow the like the person who's transporting the things to this to the sacrifice area.
It's definitely not a bad idea.
It's in the projects, right? And the inertia, what was that again? And
That is so the there's two levels of sewers: the normal sewers and the deep sewers. So they are taking it from the smuggler's pier through the normal sewers down to inertia. Then they go down a level, up back to the normal sewers in underneath the project.
the smuggler's pier, normal sewers, inertia. And then they go to the not the normal sewers, but
I'm writing it.
okay, so I can just write it down. So so they go northwest from inertia, over the other sewers to the projects where they deliver it to their middleman.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we can do that tomorrow. That was what he said. That the rat.
Yeah.
King, they have a delivery tomorrow.
It would also maybe good to like be like they will start at Smuggler's Pier, so maybe we will disguise ourselves there, and then you can follow me while I'm disguised as a rat. Like maybe meet up before, just scout the area out, like anything that we can find on Smuggler's Pier. Just check that we are not followed when we are following someone. So just a tip: if you're the stalker, be sure that you're not stalked.
Makes sense.
Safiz, are you sharing anything, or I guess you don't need to actually like say it aloud.
Well, yeah, because Cephis's was much more factual and less up for interpretation, but as things are kind of going along, he interjects and kind of, brings up like, yeah, this happened, like these people, this kind of like fits what we were thinking before, and kind of the things of note that he is interested in pursuing is this obsidian tower. So this obsidian tower sounds a lot, sounds very notable in its position, in its composition, in its existence. It's entirely possible this might not necessarily be the site, but important to their ritual. Perhaps it did just melt, but I think it's worth pursuing at least to some degree.
All right. As said, we will conclude our first day. The next couple of days, I think, will go on a bit quicker, but we'll see. We will be back after our break. All of these ding dongs here needs to get some dinner and a toilet break, and I think we'll all be back in what do you say, 20 minutes? How does that sound? So we'll be back 7:40.
Sounds good.
Alright.
Or 7:40 CET. So
20 to the next hour.
yeah. So in 22 minutes from now. All right, everybody watching, thanks for hanging on. We'll see you in 20 minutes, and I hope that you're all enjoying yourself. I sure as hell am playing with these wonderful people. All right, see all of you in 20 minutes.
Okay, see ya.
All right.